Okay, I will start today's session. Characteristics of small scale industry. Okay, till now we have discussed about MSME sector in this module. Okay, now onwards we are going to concentrate, or now onwards we are going to limit our discussion to small scale sector. So that means it includes both micro and small scale industries. Okay, and we are excluding the medium scale industries or medium scale sector. Okay. So characteristics of small scale industry. Most of the topics or most of the points which we are going to discuss. Okay, so most of them are already covered in MSME topics. Okay, characteristics of small scale industry. In small scale industry, the owner himself or herself is a manager also, and hence small scale industry is managed in a personalized fashion. The owner takes effective participation in all matters of business decision making compared to large scale companies where there is a organization structure and there are number of people involved in management tasks. Okay, so in small scale industries, so it will be managed by one or two persons, okay, who are the investors, and again who are going to do multiple roles, okay, because of lack of resources and because of the reason it is run in small scale. Okay, so one or two persons will are able to manage the entire organization and they are going to do multitasking. Okay, so that is one of the characteristic of small scale industries. The operation of small scale industry is generally localized, catering to the local and regional demands. The reason is again, so they may have one plant, only one plant. It may be in urban location or it may be in rural place. Okay, and most of the times they will sell their products or they will provide services to the local people or people around them or market that is nearer to them. Okay, if you consider Bangalore, in Bangalore, most of the small scale industries will supply components or some parts to other large scale industries. That means they are producing based on the demand from the large scale industry situated in Bangalore only. That is one of the example. Okay, they will produce products which will be sold in the nearby markets. The gestation period. So gestation period means suppose if you have invested 5 crore, okay, on starting a business, in order to get back this investment, how much time it will take, whether you will get back this 5 crore in 1 year, 2 year, that is the gestation period. So okay, so for large scale industries this gestation period is more. The reason is, in order to build infrastructure required to run a large scale company, it will take a lot of time and also it will require large amount of investment. Again, in order to get back that investment, that company has to operate for more number of years. Okay, consider the example of large scale sector in telecommunication like Geo. Okay, if Geo has to operate throughout the country, it should have towers, it should have dealers and marketing people. Okay, so in order to build that infrastructure, they require more time and at the same time they require more investment. So again, in order to get that investment on towers or investment on human resource, okay, investment on getting signals required to operate a telecommunication company. Okay, so all those things include huge investment. In order to get that investment for a company like Geo, it will require more time compared to small companies. So small companies may get back investment in 6 months, 1 year, whereas big companies have to operate for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, depending on their plan or their strategy. Okay, so small scale industries are fairly labor intensive with comparatively smaller capital investment. Okay, so we have already discussed the capital investment required for micro, small, and medium scale industries. Okay, for small scale, the capital investment is less compared to medium and large scale industries, and comparatively, these are labor intensive. That means you can find more number of people working in these industries. The reason is, since small scale industries are producing in small quantity, okay, so automation is not suitable. Automation is preferred only when a product is produced in large numbers, that is for mass production. So since the small scale industries are producing the products in small scale, they go for machines or technologies which require less investment. Okay, so that is the reason. So they don't usually they don't go for automated systems. Okay, so because of that reason, so they rely on manual systems. Because they are relying on manual systems, there are more number of people working in these industries. Small units are decentralized and dispersed to rural areas. Okay, it is difficult to get MNCs to rural areas, or even MNCs don't want to be located far from the cities like Bangalore. There are many reasons why they don't prefer to set their plants in rural areas or in places where there is lack of connectivity. Okay, whereas the small scale sector can cope up with this problem of poor connectivity, and they operate in rural areas also. Okay, small units are decentralized and dispersed to rural areas. The small units promote balanced regional development and prevent the influx of job seekers from rural areas to cities. Okay, if the industries are located in rural areas in different parts of the country or state, okay, then if people are getting jobs in their cities, in their villages itself, why do they migrate? Okay, so if small scale industries are supported by the government with proper schemes, then that will prevent this migration of labor from rural or backward places to cities. Okay, so during lockdown also we have witnessed a crisis related to labor. Okay, migrant laborers, they traveled from different parts of the country to BR, UP. In the absence of transportation facilities, also they want to go back to their villages. Okay, so that highlighted the unsustainable development model we have implemented. Okay, that there's so that gave a clear picture about how migration is taking place in India. Okay, so because of lack of job opportunities in rural areas. Okay, if government promotes small scale industries, okay, then to some extent this problem can be addressed. That is another characteristic of small scale industry. Okay, next, objectives of small scale industry. So here we are considering objectives of small scale industry in the point of view of government. Okay, what are the reasons for which government will support small scale industry? Okay, what are the reasons for which government will provide financial and other type of support to small scale industries? By providing these facilities, what are the benefits that government is able to get? Okay, main objectives of developing small enterprises in India are to generate immediate and large scale employment opportunities with relatively low investment. So as we discussed, these small scale industries are labor intensive because most of the time, because of lack of investment and because most of the products are produced in small scale, so they make use of human resource or labors. Okay, so that means more employment opportunity will be created in small scale industry since they rely on manual systems. Okay, so that is one of the major reason for which government should always support small scale industries. They will provide lot of employment opportunities. Next, to encourage dispersal of industries to all over country, covering small towns, villages, and economically lagging regions. Okay, so small scale industries can operate in rural areas by fulfilling the needs of local markets, whereas MNCs or large scale industries, they don't prefer to operate in rural areas because after again they have to procure raw materials from various countries. Okay, they may be procuring from different countries. Again, transportation play an important role. Okay, so the big companies, big manufacturing companies, they want airports, they want ports. If they are situated in okay coastal regions, they want okay, so Next, again, they want better transportation facilities. So that will ease doing their business. Again, they will export and import products. Okay, these large scale industries, most of them they export and import products. So for that reason, they always look at the infrastructure, that is availability of transportation facilities, airports, ports. Okay, and again, roads also, the quality of roads. Okay, to bring backward areas to in the mainstream of national development, since the small scale industries can operate from the backward areas. Okay, so it will results in it will play or it will contribute towards development of the nation. It will contribute towards providing employment opportunities, and it will contribute towards economy. Thereby, it will contribute towards nation development. Next, to promote balanced regional development in the whole country. Okay, if you look at the entire country, some states are developed states, some are underdeveloped states. Okay, so states like UP, BR, okay, they are underdeveloped states. So there you can find only few industries compared to states like Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so these small scale industries will result in regional development because again this large scale industries, they don't prefer to operate from underdeveloped locations where there is lack of infrastructure. Okay. Similarly, if you consider the Karnataka state, in Karnataka also most of the industries are situated in Bangalore. Okay, so and again there is a problem of people migrating from North Karnataka to Bangalore or towards South Karnataka because of various reasons. That is a this can be addressed with by starting or by encouraging people or entrepreneurs to start small scale industries on, on districts of North Karnataka. Okay, so that is the strategy governments need to be adopted. So, and if government do that, then it will result in balanced regional development. So this gap between south and north will get reduced. Okay, if there is balanced development. Next, to ensure more equitable distribution of national income. In one of the previous sessions, we discussed how our wealth is distributed, and we are facing a problem related to this distribution of income. Okay, and based on the Oxfam survey we discussed in the previous class, more than 70% of this nation's wealth, India's wealth, is accumulated with only 1% of people. Suppose, for example, if there are 100 people, okay, so if there is 100 rupees, and if there are 100 people, okay, the equal distribution of wealth means all 100 will have 1 rupee. That is the equal distribution of wealth. Now, if suppose, for example, okay, if the entire wealth of India is 100 rupees and the entire population of India is 100, okay, if wealth is distributed equally, every individual, that means all 100 will have 1 rupee. Now the situation is such that out of 100 rupees, 70 rupees is with only one person. Okay, and remaining 99 are fighting for the remaining 30 rupees. So this is the problem with current state of income distribution or current wealth distribution of this nation. Okay, more than 70% is accumulated with only 1%, like Adani, Ambani, okay, Tata, Birla. So there are only few rich people, and day by day they are becoming rich. And again, poor or middle income people. So they are losing their revenue day by day because of the policies of the government, which is supporting crony capitalism rather than even capitalism. Okay, so that we'll discuss in next class or in upcoming class. Okay, when we are discussing about privatization, liberalization, and its impact on small scale industry. We are going to discuss about all these things. Okay. So next, to encourage effective mobilization of countries' untapped resources. Okay, we know a few years back, okay, what happened in Ballari. Okay, so there was natural resource, which was available in that place, in the district. Okay, so some only few people are able to extract all those things because of political reason. That is a different thing, but okay, like that, there are resources available at different locations of this nation. Okay, if they are extracted and if value is added to those resources, then we can convert this untapped, unutilized resource into a money. Okay, there are environmental consequences that I'm not going to consider, but if there are resources, in order to utilize these resources also, we need some entrepreneurial initiatives, okay, like extracting natural resources, or coming up with innovative ideas, okay, so that, or if you are able to develop new technologies which will ensure optimal utilization of resources, like that, there are many ways. Okay, and this entrepreneurship or the small scale industries will boost this type of utilization of resources. Otherwise, resources will remain as resources. Okay, they will not be utilized. Okay. Next, to improve the standard of living of people in the country, since small scale industries will result in to some extent it will result in distribution of wealth. Okay, so it then it will obviously it will result in standard of living, improving standard of living of people. Okay, for example, again consider the example of big corporate houses like Reliance or Jio. Okay, if Jio is in profit, Ambani will become more rich and rich. Okay, instead of only one company called Jio, okay, if the same market is distributed amongst 50 more telecommunication companies, okay, same wealth which is accumulating with one person is going to distribute it among 50. Okay, that is the way in which you can try to distribute wealth. So capitalism also will work if there is competition. Okay, and if there is level playing field. These two are the basic requirements for capitalism to work. So one thing is you should keep a level playing field. That means the policies of government should not favor any individual or any particular company. Okay, so every capitalist, that means everyone who is having money to invest on a business or on a business idea must get equal opportunity. So that is how capitalism will work. Crony capitalism is about picking one. Okay, so I'm doing favors to one or two. That is happening now. Okay, and this crony capitalism will increase the problem of this wealth distribution. Okay, so if policies are framed to benefit only few, then again, so there will be more accumulation of wealth. Again, more wealth will be diverted towards this 1% only instead of distributing that. Okay. Again, if there is competition, then there will be more number of companies. If there are more number of companies, then there are more number of employment opportunities. Okay. At the same time, if there is more competition in the market, it is possible for consumers to get good products at competitive prices. If there is monopoly, okay, then it will affect customers also. In long term, it will affect consumers also if there is monopoly. Okay, so because of lack of competition, companies which have hold on the market, they will go on increasing the prices. Okay, initially to rule out competitors, they will reduce price. Once competitors are out of the market, then they will start increasing the prices of the services or products. Obviously, in long term, consumers are going to get affected. Okay, many who are opposing the current farm bills, Okay, they are also highlighting another issue. This farm bill in future, after few years, it not only affect farmers, okay, it may even affect consumers of this nation. Okay, we may our vegetables and fruits, all these agricultural products prices may increase because if some companies are able to create infrastructure and if they started storing all the agricultural products and if they don't release those products to market and if they go on creating demand for the product and if they are able to decide price of the vegetables and fruits, if monopoly, okay, so as appeared in the agriculture sector, it not only affect farmers, obviously it will affect consumers also. Okay, so by considering all these things, so government need to put a lot of resources towards small scale industries. Okay, so with the help of that, there are many advantages by supporting small scale industries rather than picking few crony capitalists. Okay, next, role of small scale industry in economic development. So as we discussed earlier, small scale industry use labor intensive techniques. That means most of the times they rely on manual or semi automated systems. Okay, SSI use labor intensive techniques and therefore provide employment on a large scale. Small scale industry requires less capital per unit of output and provides quick returns because gestation period is less. Okay. Next, SSI promotes decentralized development of industries, as we discussed. It helps to improve the standard of living in suburban and rural areas. SSI helps to mobilize and utilize local resources like small saving, entrepreneurial talent, etc., which might otherwise remain idle and unutilized. Okay, so even though you may have a very good business idea, when you will have confidence to start your own business, okay, you will get confidence when there is a level playing field, when you are having confidence that government will support me. Okay, so in future, if I start my own business, so government will back me in many ways. Okay, if entrepreneurs are able to get that much of confidence on the policy makers, then they will start doing business. Once they lose confidence on the policy makers and once they have identified that policy makers are picking only few for various political reasons, okay, then obviously entrepreneurial spirit will decline. If entrepreneurial spirit decline, obviously that will have an effect on the development of the nation, on employment opportunities, okay, on competition. So it will affect in many ways. SSI helps in reducing pressure on the country's balance of payments in two ways. First, they do not require imports of sophisticated machinery or raw material because most of the small scale industries, okay, they are established to cater the local needs and again to make use of the locally available resources. That's why they don't depend much on imports. That is one thing. Second, so the products produced by small scale industries can be exported, okay, to foreign countries. So this is the advantage of small scale industries. They use locally available resources and some small scale industries are able to produce products which have market out of this nation. This will, how this will contribute towards growth of the nation is, this will reduce the gap between imports and exports. India is facing a problem. We import a lot of things whereas we export only few things. There's a gap between import and export. Okay, and most of the times our policymakers are worried about reducing this gap between imports and exports. Okay, so if some company is able to produce products which can be exported, obviously that will have that will contribute towards economy. Okay, by reducing this gap between imports and exports. Okay. SSI plays a complementary role to large-scale sector. They provide parts, components, accessories to large-scale industries. They serve as ancillary units. Most of the manufacturing units situated in Bangalore, okay, so most of them are supplying components to automotive companies, okay. So that they are ancillary units. They will produce clutch, they will produce spark plugs, okay. So and again, those will be sold to big large scale companies, okay. That is the advantage of small scale industries. They will support large scale companies also. Small scale sector contributes towards the development of a socialistic pattern of society by reducing concentration of income and wealth, okay. So as we discussed, if there is competition, if there are more number of players or more number of companies which is producing the same product, okay, that means that market will be shared among many, okay. But we are seeing a different trend recently, okay. So we are very familiar with people who did fraud to banking sector, okay. The names of Vijay Mallya, Choksi, sorry, Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi. So these are familiar to us, okay. Recently, last week, okay, so there was a report, I think in Economic Times, I think, okay. So there is a person who has committed a fraud, okay, which is more than anyone did till now, okay. So Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಲ್ಲ fraud, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡ fraud ಅನ್ನ another businessman has committed in this nation, and intentionally that is kept aside, okay. What is the name of that person who has to pay 86,000 crores to bank, and now it is not in a position to pay 86,000 crore to banks? So Vijay Mallya has to pay just 9,000, okay. Others has to pay 3,000, 5,000 crores, but a businessman who has to pay 86,000 crore, okay. So he don't pay, he is not in a situation to pay 86,000 crore loan to 3 banks including SBI, okay. So ಹೆಸರೇನು ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು?
Anil Ambani.
Okay, Anil Ambani. So now you know. So we treated Vijay Mallya as villain, we treated Nirav Modi as villain, but in the media or in the society, no one is speaking against Anil Ambani. So he has to pay 86,000 crore. So it is a fact, and he has committed fraud. His company has committed fraud. He has to pay 86,000 crore loan amount, and no one is speaking against him. So this is the problem with crony capitalism. It will result in almost, okay, so killing everything. It may disrupt entire banking system, may collapse someday, so in upcoming day. If the things go like this, we don't know the future of banking system, because few industrialists are taking thousands of crores of money and they are not repaying, and they are living life as usual. And if you remember, there is another important thing, okay. So this Rafale project, so who has the contract to supply this Rafale jets to Indian Army? So who took this contract? Again, it's a company belong to Anil Ambani. Anil Ambani he has to pay 86,000, and how our policy makers, okay, support him, how they give this contract to him, okay. So these are the consequences, okay. Definitely this will have adverse effects on entire economy, entire banking system, okay. We don't know where we are heading towards and what is happening in the economy, okay. So we are concentrating on issues, okay, which in any way which are not related to us. We concentrate on individual issues rather than the systematic problems which need to be addressed So the problem with this type of fraud is if Anil Ambani, okay, don't repay 86,000 crore to banks. Next, okay, after your graduation, if you want to start your own business and if you apply for your loan, okay, you don't get loan easily because banks are in loss. Banks lose confidence, okay, towards industrialists. Banks will hesitate to provide loans for doing business. Okay, this will affect in many ways. And even what is the guarantee that investors who have deposited money in the banks that will be assured to them? No guarantee. If things move like this, okay, we don't have any guarantee. Okay, so this thing, so as educated, you must be aware of these things. Okay, and so small scale sector contributes towards the development of socialistic pattern of society. Socialistic pattern means again it will result in distribution of wealth equally among its citizens. Okay, that is the socialistic pattern of society. So you are able to achieve socialistic pattern of society if our policymakers support small scale sector. That's why Mahatma Gandhi ji, okay, even Gandhi ji always is told, okay, so village, okay, we have to concentrate on villages, okay, we have to build infrastructure in villages, and he started many initiatives like, okay, so charaka and all those things, okay, by textiles, okay. So government policies also should be such that they will boost small scale sector, okay, but we are not seeing that. Small scale industry provide honorable and independent living to people with limited resources. The reason is, suppose you may have 2 lakh rupees, okay, if you are able to start your own business, so you are the boss. If you as an individual, if you have a mindset that you don't want to work under someone else, always if you are having a mindset that I have to do something on my own, okay, so that will boost your honor. Okay, so ನಾನು ನನಗೆ ಅನ್ಸಿದ್ದು ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು, that will give a pride, a honor. Okay, so when there is an environment where this kind of business ideas can be implemented, then that will obviously results in boosting the self confidence among entrepreneurs or someone with entrepreneurial spirit, someone who wants to do something on their own. Okay, if there is demand in the market, if there is enough benefits available for the upcoming entrepreneur, then obviously that will boost his confidence and boost entrepreneurship. Okay, so SSI provides honorable and independent living because you are doing something on your own. Okay, so with limited resource, they facilitate wide participation of public in the process of development. Since you with limited resources, with 5 lakh, 10 lakh, if you do something on your own, okay, so you are also, and you will provide employment to 3 or 4. That means you are also contributing towards development of this nation. Okay, next, SSI contributes more than one of the total industrial production in India. About 5,000 products are manufactured in the small scale sector. Small scale units have helped to develop a class of entrepreneurs because these require less investment. Okay, these units facilitate self-employment and spirit of self-reliance in the society, like Atmanirbhar. Okay, Atmanirbhar can happen when policies are framed to help people who want to do something on their own. Okay, with attractive, catchy names or catchy titles, we cannot achieve anything. With just statements, we cannot achieve anything. That in order to convert that statement into reality, we need, okay, we need proper planning, we need proper approach, we need proper policies which will support one another. Okay, towards creating demand in the market, towards creating confidence among the investors. Just making statement doesn't work. In reality, if you look at the facts, which are available in public domain, you will realize what. Okay, so if you look at the social indicators also, you will realize what is happening in this nation. Okay, recently there is a social indicator related to malnutrition. After lockdown, okay, many people have gone back to poverty. Okay, so and because of that, many are suffering from malnutrition. Again, we are heading towards poverty. We are, instead of becoming a developed nation, from developing to develop. Okay, we are moving downwards. Many are again going back to poverty, and the malnutrition problem also is increasing because this midday meal program is able to address this malnutrition problem because schools are shut down. Okay, children are not getting midday meals, and in home there's no guarantee that they will get food because they're from deprived or poor background. Okay, these are the consequences, and policymakers should address these issues. They cannot simply sit in a studio and they cannot give monotonous speeches. That doesn't make any sense. Next, advantages of small scale industries. Small scale enterprises can be started as per convenience of the owner in terms of space, finance, product, and manpower. Okay, this is one of the advantage of small scale industries. If you have 2 lakh also, you can start a business firm. Okay, if you have 10, again it depends on your idea, depends on type of product you want to produce or type of service you want to provide. Okay, the setting up of the unit and starting of production requires a small gestation period of only 2 to 6 months, and layout can be made as per convenience. Like locally available skilled and semi-skilled people can be appointed at short notice and at a much lower wages compared to the medium and large scale industries. Okay, so in small scale industries, again, in the point of view of the worker, okay, it is a disadvantage, but in the point of view of an entrepreneur, this is an advantage. In small scale industries compared to large companies, the facilities provided to laborers, okay, are not good. Okay, and even salary is less in these small scale industries. That's why most of the engineering graduates, if they don't get job in campus recruitment, okay, usually most of them will get an opportunity to work in these small scale industries in Peenya, Bomsandra, and other industrial areas. Okay, they will work in these small scale industries for 1 or 2 years. They will get experience, then they will shift to medium and large scale companies where they will get good salary and other benefits. Okay, so this is another advantage in the point of view of entrepreneur. So people will get less salary, or with less salary, so the small scale industries are able to get human resource. Wherever high technology involved, the parent company executives will help. Alternatively, consultants can be hired to sort out technology related problems. Again, you can consider the example of Wistron and Apple company. Okay, so if companies like Wistron want any technology which is not available with them, okay, obviously Apple company will support them. The reason is, so they are producing products for Apple company. Okay, if they are providing products to Apple company, then obviously Apple company may be willing to give some of the technologies for them. Okay, that is another advantages. Okay, I will continue remaining topics in next class. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, otherwise I will wind up this class. ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೇಳೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು.